Hello, everybody, again. My name is Nikola Timkovičová, and I prepared for you the presentation about the Zlin Creative Cluster, as you mentioned. I'm, quite new in in Zlin Creative Cluster, so I hope that I will be able to tell you everything and maybe to answer your questions. First of all, I would like to tell you some, basic info, basic introduction, then how it started, something about the history of the Zlin Creative Cluster, about the cultural mapping and CCIs, and also what is the cluster, and something about our Zlin Creative Cluster. And I prepare for you some projects that are interesting or I'm involved in. So I hope that you will enjoy that. So first of all, just a brief information about me for you to know who I am. As I said, my name is Nikola Timkovičová. I studied marketing communication at the Faculty of Multimedia Communication at the Thomas Bata University in Zlin that Petr Dubovský was talking about, 2 hours ago. I spent a wonderful 5 years there, and that's also when I started living in Zlin until today, because, as you know, the Zlin is the best place. And during my studies, I also was involved in another project that you heard about from Venda Gregorovičová. It's Zlin Design Week. So as you can see, we are really connected here in Zlin. And also, I would like to say that projects like Zlin Design Week are definitely what sets the faculty apart from others, and it can prepare you for real life projects and the creative industries, because this was one of the reasons why I was able to start working for creative agency during my studies. So thanks to university and Zlin Design Week. But I think that's enough about me. So let's take a look at the next part of my presentation. Just to recap, I know that Petr mentioned that he was talking about the Zlin, but also we are again talking about Zlin region. So just to recap, let's see where in the Czech Republic the Zlin region and the city of Zlin are located. And let's look at the history and creation of Zlin Creative Cluster. It all started with a cultural mapping, also known as a cultural resource mapping or cultural landscape mapping. And it refers to a wide range of research techniques and tools used to, let's say, map distinct people's tangible and also intangible cultural assets within local landscapes around the world. Cultural mapping is also used to describe the use of research methods or tools and techniques to describe and plan, for example, the future use of particular regions or, let's say, cities. So there on this slide, you can see something like a scheme of cultural resources that are looking for during the cultural mapping. So as you can see, it's not easy. It's not easy to do it. And to be more specific, the Zlin Creative Cluster started with a project titled Mapping Culture and Creative Industries in the Czech Republic, and also with mapping of the Zlin region. And the expert who was selected for this task was the lady Lia Gelardi. You can see her in the photo. I just wanted to, to tell you something about her for you who doesn't know her. She's a creative polymath. She's based in London, and also she's founder and director of Noema, which is organization working internationally to deliver place mapping and strategic cultural planning projects. And also she's a member of the Academy of Urbanism, which is network or thinkers, professionals, and decision makers working to create a better living for people in towns and cities. So as you can see, she's the best person, you can say, for such a project. Okay, what's next? Results of mapping. What was the result of this mapping of a Zlin region? It was really, these results were really good because we realized that there's a strong potential in the region of architecture, audiovisual art, design, and marketing and advertising. So to sum up, the region has the great potential in the creative industry. And maybe, as you know, the creative industries include activities which are based on human creativity, skill, and talent. CCIs include, for example, architecture, design, digital games, new media, radio and television, or, for example, gastronomy and cultural heritage. The creative, cultural and creative industries are really important because they have the potential to create wealth and jobs in the cities. So yeah, that's why we are here. And also, there's another definition of a cluster to help me, to describe more Zlin Creative Cluster. The cluster is, group of companies who share local resources using similar technologies. They are, networking. They are helping each other, we can say, and also there's interesting thing. The strategy called competition, sorry, in which companies compete in some respects, to cooperate in. So that was the definition, but let's talk more about the Zlin Creative Cluster. It was formed in 2014 on the basis of the results that emerged from the cultural mapping I mentioned before, because the cluster wanted to use the potential of the Zlin region, and also we are the first cluster in Czech Republic focusing on the creative industry. The main vision of the Zlin Creative Cluster is to, let's say, make the Zlin region as one of the important centers of the creative industry in Czech Republic, and especially in the areas of design, audiovisual, marketing, communications, and architecture. That's something what we know from the cultural mapping, that we are good in it. And because the region will be, will be able to retain talented people, specifically graduates of the Thomas Bata University in Zlin, not only thanks to the fact that it has the necessary infrastructure and work positions, but also because the city offers adequate cultural activities like theater, music, new media, and so on. Also, in this slide, I put there some designs of the logo for Zlin Creative Cluster. Just something for you to know. And as you can see, the first one won. In a Zlin Creative Cluster, we have there the 10 commandments. I just pick some of them, not to talk about all of these 10. The first thing is to create conditions for retaining the creative class in the region. for example, by building an infrastructure for the establishment of startup companies and supporting jobs in the creative industries. That's really important. Or supporting development of adequate cultural activities in the region, or we can say maybe not only in the region sometimes. The next thing is to ensure that the region grows in importance as a center of the creative industry by implementing support of the creative industry into the strategic region development plan, by conducting some significant activities, by supporting significant projects in the region, for example. And the next thing to release the creativity of the public by supporting community activities, cultural activities, utilizing the public area, promotion of cultural events, and development of deep culture in the region. That's the thing I'm going to talk about later about the projects where we support these community activities and these events and help to promote them. Also in Zlin Creative Cluster, we have there some practical tasks for us, and that's promoting, recommending, executing, and also networking. And I decided to pick there for you 2 photos of our, maybe let's say, style of networking. On the left side, you can see really informal meeting with our members, where we discussed some new things in a creative industries, but also have some beer and just to talk like human to human. And on the right side you can see more formal meeting. So that was something about the tasks of the Zlin Creative Cluster. Also, I mentioned our members. We have about 30 members of the cluster. I just put there some of them, not all of them, but there are, for example, some communication agencies, filmmakers, also product designers. Faculty is also the member of the creative cluster, or a regional gallery of fine arts in Zlin. So as you can see, we have a lot of diverse companies from creative industries as members, and that's good. And now let's talk about some projects I decided to introduce you, to show you. For example, the first one, it's a Useit Map. I picked that because for you who would like to invite or who would like to visit, who would like to visit Zlin, I can recommend you to use this map. That's one of the projects we were involved in, and I think it's a really nice project because it's practical and unusual free map made by locals. We can say made by locals with love. And you can find there some tips for the best places to visit in Zlin. It's not just about the galleries or museums or something like that. You can find there some cafes, parks, architectural treasures, pubs, and other interesting places that you can visit in Zlin. So that was the first project. Another project we are partly involved in, and we cooperate with the gallery. It's a gallery and museum night. They use slogan "Don't sleep, go for art." So it means that one night there are every galleries, museums, or some interesting places of local artists are open, and you can visit them. The main organizer of the event is the Regional Gallery of Fine Arts, but as I mentioned, we are also involved, and this project is all about intervention in public space and support for alternative local artists we have in Zlin or in Zlin region. Another project we had this year was the Creative Business Cup. It's international project competition, and this year we hosted this event in Zlin. That's the largest competition for creative startups in the Czech Republic, and every year they look for creative and innovative startups from all over the Czech Republic. And through this project, through this competition, they help verify their global potential, because there's a national round, and the winner of this national round compete in international round, let's say. And this year, this national round took place. It was online, due to COVID situation, but it took place from the Thomas Baťa Memorial in Zlin. I can show you how it looked there. We cooperate on this project with Czech Invest, who is the main organizer of this competition, but also we cooperate with the Faculty of Multimedia Communications. So as you can see there, there are just students who are preparing the stage in this, let's say, architectural treasure, as the Thomas Baťa Memorial is. And there are other photos, and the jury was most impressed by the startup Redmi, which develops an app for reading fairy tales. Just to know, it means that you can with this app you can read to your children some fairy tales, and it can add some voices to your narrative. So that was the best project in this competition in a national round. Another project I would like to mention is Kreatin. It's a project I think the most involved in, and it's a program for companies. And the goal of this program is to utilize creative processes and through their application in companies, increase companies' market share, or possibly help them to enter the new markets. To be more specific, we as a Zlin Creative Cluster, we are looking for experts who can provide some services for companies only in the Zlin region, and these companies are provided with experts for free or at a reduced cost. So this program can really help them to start new product, to start a new brand, or just what they need. And these experts are from product industry, or they are audiovisual creatives and marketing specialists. Just to know who are these experts are, and they are of course from culture and creative industry. Also, I would like to mention projects we are working on now in these days. And that's, for example, the exhibition called 100 Years of Zlin Industrial Design. Because I would like to show you that there are a lot of, or many diverse projects we are working on. And there are many ways how to help creative community or companies in the Zlin region. So this project, as I mentioned, is the exhibition. It will be located in Zlin in the next year, because the city of Zlin will celebrate really significant anniversary, 700 years since the first written mention. And in this occasion, we would like to celebrate also the human potential and historical development of the city in the field of design and creative industries. And we would like to show people a lot of things from Zlin industrial design. This project will have 3 main parts. The main exhibition, which will be more about the history. Then there is the conference, which is also the part of Zlin Design Week, as Venda mentioned before. And as the last, there's the outdoor exhibition, which is more about contemporary design than historical. So we would like to show also the brands and companies who are involved in design from the Zlin region. And they are, as I mentioned, contemporary. So again, it's about the cooperation in this project is about the cooperation with Zlin Design Week and the regional gallery. And another project we are working on in these days, it's let's say roof organization of Zlin Creative Cluster, because we plan to become an, we can say, umbrella organization for clusters in other parts of the Czech Republic. And for example, we are negotiating this with the Karlovy Vary region, which is located on the other side of the country in the west. So it's quite far, but still it can work. And we are really glad that they would like to cooperate with us, and they would like to start their cluster in Karlovy Vary. And we can think of this, let's say, umbrella organization as some kind of franchise, because we will provide them with the know-how, with the support to develop a creative cluster in their region. So also they will be independent, but the main brand of cluster will be on us. So that's another thing we are working on, and we really hope that in the near future this will become a reality, that we can spread the creative cluster to another regions, or to help them, or to share maybe some know-how or other things, to help each other, to cooperate and so on. And the last project I would like to talk about today, it's a cooperation with another city from Zlin region, which is the city Uherské Hradiště. It's not, as you can see, it's not so far from Zlin. And we, as a Zlin Creative Cluster, were asked by the city to help them with the strategy of the city itself, of course, in the field of cultural and creative industries. And also that's another service we can provide to other cities to help them with their strategy. And we have specifically developed a marketing strategy in this case. And thanks to that, we realized that the creative community from the city of Uherské Hradiště is calling for a place where they can meet each other, where they can work together, and also, we can say, have fun. And that's why we decided to build a creative and co-working center, which is called Hub 123. But that part of a story will be covered by my colleague Vendula Doubravská, who will be the next, who will have a presentation. So I would like to pass the word to her. And also I would like to thank you for your attention, and visit Zlin and let's meet each other. And thank you so much.
Thank you. So again, so impressive about experience of Zlin in doing creative business. So if you're talking about creative cluster, does it mean that you have, is it cooperation or competition, cooperation between your creative industries in your region? Cooperation with industries in your region, or it's like a form of competitions with other regions? And the second question, how many people do you have in your organization to do so much work in your activity?
Okay, so the first question, I hope that I heard you good about the Creative Business Cup, right? It was, this competition. It was between, let's say, startups from other regions. We can say from other industries. It wasn't only about Zlin region, but when we hosted this competition, we tried to find really good startups here in Zlin, and we hoped that another startup from Zlin can win, but it didn't happen. So so the Redmi, as I mentioned, won this competition. And your second question, how many people are involved in Zlin Creative Cluster? These days, we are, I think there are 5 people. 5 people who are working on these projects, for example, or another projects, and also the Vendula I mentioned, she's a part of the Creative Cluster too. So yeah.
So and you mentioned that you are helping in other cities to start some kind of creative clusters. You work mainly in Czech Republic or abroad as well?
The project I mentioned, the roof organization or umbrella organization, we planned that for just for Czech Republic. I think for the beginning, but I think that we can do it internationally, or maybe Petra, if you are if you are listening, you can add more info.
Yeah, but technically you've asked the right question, because last month we have a visit from Slovakia, from the town of Trenčín, which is next to our border. It's less than 80 kilometers from Zlin, so they are close neighbors, but they are approaching to be the European City of Culture in the year 2026, I think. and they came to Zlin to learn from us how to build up their own creative cluster there in Trenčín. So one of the options is that we will spread our wings and start to operate in Slovakia as well. So this at this time it's just a matter of discussions.
Yeah. Okay. So Nikola has a question.
Yes, Nikola, thank you for inspiring presentation. My question about the R&D part of the cluster. Have you some R&D unit or do you deal with the circular economy challenges and maybe broader? Have you some require for elaborate solution for business which related circular economy?
This is a good question. Usually clusters in the normal business way they are built works with the same type of industries. Let's say the automotive cluster works with the companies that supports automotive industry, and they have a huge field of the opportunities to cooperate on their research and development scene. Our cluster is kind of different because of the huge palette of the members, because we have companies from the audiovisual arts, we have companies from the architects, we have companies that do advertisement, and then some design factories. And in the number of 30 members, there is also university, town halls, galleries, NGOs. So what I'm trying to say is that there is a quite difficult to find topic that will lead to one research project. We have been trying to connect all the audiovisual artists and make them render farm for rendering their films, because this is something that they really need, and that is over their possibilities as each company. So that was one of the projects that when we started to discuss, well, guys, what if we put you all together and develop a render farm, and you will use it for your purposes and share it as a shared infrastructure. Well, money talks, and the money are always the reason we are deciding to do or not to do things. So we have counted it all together, and it came out that still there is a so low number of companies that cannot, even if they work together, put together enough resources to build up the render farm. So still they are ordering the things from England if they need it quick and quality, or they are sending it to abroad to another company. So that was one approach. Yes, I think that for the cluster, and it's financing, because if government supports clusters here in Czech Republic, then it supports them with the research and development projects, basically. So nowadays we are trying to find some solutions. From the fashion designers, they came with the idea of recycling and redesigning things. These companies works here, but in a small scale. So it's not that big that we can build up on it such a huge project that will cover maybe some cost of the cluster as well. So not yet, but we are thinking about it.
Okay, great. It's a very interesting topic, maybe even for collaborate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the cluster itself, it works, let's say, it is like a bridge between university and companies, or it is like an additional organization?
Well, formally, cluster is an NGO that consists of members, and one of the members is the university. but historically, university was the one of the leading members, and it was at the birth of the cluster. So yes, well, my case is that I work for the university and used to be the manager of the cluster. So the connection is quite strong, and university uses this for all those projects as well. Well, cluster members are always the first one who appears in the projects, like the Zlin Design Week or another students' works that is made with the companies. So, and I can say that maybe 1/3 of the members of the clusters are former students. So that they are successful in their businesses. They know that the university gave them something, and they want to give it back. So yes, this cooperation works pretty nice. What happened, guys? Yeah, you don't have batteries.
One more question about the cluster. Have you a membership in some European networks of the cluster?
If we are members in another networks, was it the question? Yeah. Yes, there's a Czech National Cluster Association, and we are the regular member of it that supports the clusters, that provides to the cluster management education, that provides some information and creates the map of clusters for the Czech Republic. There's the number is still growing, but I think that there is around 40 clusters in Czech Republic, and you can tell whatever sphere you are talking about, and you will find a cluster for it. I think that the last cluster was cluster of apple trees farmers. So the farmers that they have the apple tree have their own cluster, and it's working because the chain of the producers of apples wants to cooperate and have more influence on, let's say, shops and distribution. So this works. And this is the Czech National Cluster Association supports clusters as a clusters. They don't provide us any specific things that we need in the creative creative industries. So at the beginning, when we started to work as a cluster, what we did was that we have made the business trip to the Brussels. We have found there few organizations just to visit them and take inspiration from them. One of the institutions there was the Creative Ring, which was the umbrella organization for the cities that that worked in creative industries. They don't care if you are a cluster, if you are a university, if you are whoever. They just support creative ecosystems in cities, and they share their knowledge and expertise in those cases. So we've just asked them, well, guys, that's nice, and we are quite new, basically just starting organization. Can we be part of the Creative Ring? And yeah, it happened. So we are part of the Creative Ring, which is the organization that slowly dies those days, because they were at the beginning funded by the European Union and by the programs from the Horizon 2020. But anyway, those contacts are still alive. So once you are in some network and you cooperate on a real project and you make those connections, and I mean personal connections, then it doesn't matter if the organization is still working. Nowadays, when there are calls from the Horizon Europe, and I'm thinking, oh, well, this is a nice project, maybe we can find some partners. I'm always calling those guys from the Creative Ring, even though the organization formally doesn't exist or maybe survived on the lowest level. But that was the one organization, international network. The second one is the New European Media Initiative, which is huge organization concerning all the digitalization stuff in the audiovisual arts and this stuff. This organization has members like national TVs all around Europe and broadcasters and of course universities and science centers and so on and so on. There's about 1,500 members of that huge network, New European Media Initiative. We have tried to ask them, can we be members? Yes, you can. You are the first from the Czech Republic. So if you want, you can be ambassador of our organization in Czech Republic. Wow, I say, wow, that's great. So we have now on our web pages the sign that we are the ambassador of New European Media Initiative, which is very cool, but I don't even know what they do. It's so formal and it's so high in the sky, and without any real connection to our needs, to needs of our members. I cannot stand up to our members and say, hey guys, this is really nice and useful, because they say, okay, this is the politician. This is the plan for next 20 years, but my business is here in this town and I need support for some small thing, not to discuss all the big things. But still, we keep in touch. We follow the information they give. Not all of them are useful, I would say, in this real life, but maybe one day we will find out that, well, it's good to be part of such a thing as well. It looks nice. And on the other hand, it's always good to be seen. When, I don't know, maybe ask Anton, how did you find us? What was the first contact? Because we were young, 1 year in operation, and somebody from Ukraine came and say, oh yeah, this is the great example of best practice. We will visit you in Zlin. How did you find us? I don't know till today.